I received a suggestion to create a video about Deidara. So let's dive into a deep psychological analysis of this intriguing character from the Naruto universe. Deidara is a fascinating example of how psychological complexity can reflect in a character's actions and decisions, and today we'll explore these aspects in detail. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Oliver, a psychology graduate, and every week I bring detailed analyses of anime characters, diving deep into the nuances of their personalities and behaviors. If you enjoy this kind of content and want to keep receiving videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It helps a lot to strengthen the channel and motivates me to keep bringing relevant and engaging content for you all. Deidara is, without a doubt, one of the proudest and most complex characters in Naruto. Since his introduction, he refers to himself as a true artist, someone whose art transcends the ordinary. His disdain for being underestimated or seeing his work depreciated is evident in nearly all his interactions. His obsession with art is central to his life, something he fiercely defends, and it defines him as a person. Deidara didn't see his explosions merely as destructive abilities, but as the purest form of artistic expression. For him, the ephemeral nature of the explosions was what made art genuine. The instant destruction was true beauty. This concept of art was so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he went as far as installing a device in his left eye, something that extended beyond mere combat strategy. It was a way to ensure he was never caught off guard, especially by those he feared the most, or, in some ways, admired, like Itachi. The rivalry with Itachi shaped a significant part of Deidara's journey, and in his mind, he had already imagined and planned out that fight countless times, almost as a personal obsession. He needed to prove, both to himself and to others, that his art was superior. Interestingly, despite his colossal pride, Deidara could still show respect to those he acknowledged as superior in power. A clear example of this is his reverence for the Sage of the Six Paths. Despite his confidence, Deidara didn't deny the sage's superiority, admitting that, in terms of power, the sage was unmatched. However, this recognition wasn't without a hint of bitterness, which reveals an interesting facet of his personality. A man torn between his arrogance and his ability to acknowledge others' strength. Now, analyzing Deidara through a psychological lens, we can clearly see narcissistic traits in his personality. Narcissists often have an inflated image of themselves, believing they are special and superior to others. They constantly seek external validation to confirm this view, which is evident in Deidara's behavior. His pride was more than just a simple trait, it was an ongoing internal battle. He was a ninja from the Stone Village, and his unique ability, the explosion Kekkei Genkai, made him widely known. However, despite being admired for his abilities, what Deidara most longed for was the recognition of his art as the ultimate form of expression, something he never felt he received sufficiently, especially from his own village. Deidara's stubbornness was one of his defining traits. He was obstinate, and often this obstinacy led him to further isolate himself in his convictions. Deidara firmly believed in his talent, and this belief drove him to abandon his home village in search of the freedom to create his art without restrictions or judgment. He felt suffocated by the limitations imposed by the Stone Village, and this frustration pushed him to join the Akatsuki, where he found not only a platform for his art, but also a new set of internal challenges. Despite being the youngest member of the Akatsuki, Deidara was incredibly intelligent and strategic. His battle against Sasuke, for example, showcased his ability to anticipate movements and create elaborate strategies, always thinking several steps ahead. Research from Northwestern University in 2008 showed that pride can, in fact, motivate people to work harder to solve problems and overcome challenges. In Deidara's case, his pride drove him to continuously improve his techniques and seek more creative ways to express his art. He saw each battle as an opportunity to prove the worth of his explosions, not just as a tool of destruction, but as an artistic manifestation. If Deidara hadn't died in the fight against Sasuke, he likely would have continued evolving his abilities, becoming even more dangerous and relentless. However, pride, as Dante Alighieri describes in the Divine Comedy, is one of the 7 deadly sins. When not properly managed, it can be our greatest downfall, leading us to make impulsive and self-destructive decisions. For Deidara, the greatest symbol of his defeat was the Sharingan. He viewed the Sharingan as a form of art that he could never surpass, and this became a deep wound to his pride. Freud speaks of three great narcissistic wounds in the history of humanity: Copernicus's heliocentrism, Darwin's theory of evolution, and psychoanalysis, which revealed that much of our behavior is governed by unconscious forces. For Deidara, the Sharingan represented his own narcissistic wound, as no matter how hard he tried, he knew he could never match or surpass the visual power of Itachi or Sasuke. This rivalry with the Uchiha consumed much of his thoughts, and his obsession with overcoming the Sharingan led him to make desperate decisions. Deidara's final battle against Sasuke is the pinnacle of this obsession. He was willing to sacrifice everything to prove that his art was superior. Yet deep down, he knew he was fighting against something he could never completely defeat. His impulsivity prevented him from realizing that he could have delayed the reward in search of a more significant victory in the future. If he had controlled this impulsiveness, perhaps he could have escaped that battle alive. And who knows, in the not-too-distant future, he might have found a way to finally defeat Sasuke. As the legendary sage once said, time is unforgiving. In Deidara's case, it was his haste and desperate need for validation that led to his destruction. Thank you very much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the analysis, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. A special thanks to the first 50 subscribers who have helped me grow. We continue together, bringing more deep and thought-provoking analyses. See you next time.